What's up everyone, this is the Montre Black. Today we're gonna react to the Desk of Death Battle, the garbage of Billy Ray Cyrus comics. Let's watch.
The 90s, the Wild West of fashion. People rocked frosted tips, neon-colored windbreakers, and sported mullets with pride. But it wasn't just wild fashion and bad haircuts. In fact, there were bad comics as well. The most infamous of these trash books might come from Marvel Music, mostly full of biographies of artists like Bob Marley and the Rolling Stones. But also, Billy Ray Cyrus, who just couldn't be limited to a biography. Oh, no, he needed an adventure. I'm Jocelyn Lantern. I clearly do all the research nobody else wants to, straight from the desk of Death Battle. That's right, guys. Billy Ray Cyrus, old achy breaky himself, has a comic published by Marvel, of all people. Now, you might be wondering what the hell would even go into a has-been country singer's comic book. Well, for starters, magic and time travel. Yeah, of course. How could that go wrong? Its 48 pages are filled with exactly 2 adventures, and it's safe to say that both of those were creative garbage. The first adventure is essentially a Scooby-Doo story mixed with inappropriate child interactions, LARPing, and racial themes. Don't believe me? Well, let me explain. The misadventure starts off with Gary and his ex-girlfriend Karen exploring an old fort, and Gary gets spooked by a smoky outline of a Native American. Karen, not taking any of his shit, calls him out for lying, and then out of nowhere, mid-argument, Billy Ray comes up riding a horse, and Karen is somehow able to recognize him from like 50 yards away, which is insane. But the real trip comes when Billy starts going on a spiel about how Gary might have actually seen a Cherokee ghost because this fort was where our forefathers fought them and lost against them terribly. And he doesn't just stop there, he keeps going and for some reason starts giving a lesson about the Trail of Tears. Maybe hinting at his next album release of Trail of Tears. Or maybe this man just really likes how his ancestors forced thousands of Native Americans off their land. You know, it could really go either way. This is merely the tip of the iceberg, though, because he goes on to give the kids free tickets to his concert. After said concert, Billy Ray invites the kids into his dressing room, where, I shit you not, he's effing naked! I mean, sure, he has a towel over his shoulder, but I would be hard-pressed to call that a garment! Now here's a little PSA, kids. If a strange man invites you into his dressing room, and he's bare-ass naked, leave! Sadly, these kids didn't hear my PSA or have common sense because even after seeing him like that, they stick around. To add to the insanity, Billy says he's already called their parents and that they said it was okay for the kids to go camping at the old fort with Billy tonight. First off, how the hell did he get their parents' numbers? He just met these kids. I would have loved to listen to those phone calls. Oh, hey, this is Billy Ray Cyrus. I was gonna get naked and invite your child to my dressing room, and then take him camping at an old, possibly haunted fort in the middle of nowhere. That cool? Anyways, fast forward a bit, and everyone ends up dressed up like Davy Crockett while riding horses around the fort with fake guns. When, surprise, surprise, some modern-day Native Americans are dressed in their tribal attire, and for some reason they're also carrying fake guns. Yet real bows and arrows? And then in a moment of complete idiocy, the 2 groups, the colonizers and the Native Americans, both mistake each other for ghosts and attempt to scare each other away by shooting blanks at each other. Now, I've got a handful of questions here, but first and foremost, why does anyone think blanks, or even real bullets for that matter, are going to scare off a ghost? They're ghosts! You can't shoot a goddamn ghost in the first place, you idiots. Thankfully, though, some Deus Ex Machina pushes the story forward by having a bear show up and scare the shit out of the Native Americans. Obviously, you know, since bears are scarier than ghosts, they decided to run towards the old fort, spotting Billy Ray on the way, telling him to cover them. And bam! They're all friends. Wow, talk about a terrible end to a story, but hey, at least the big lesson you can learn here is that bears are scarier than ghosts. Mainly because one of them is real and the other isn't. Also, hey, remember, this is only the first adventure. If you thought this was bad, it only gets worse. So prep your noggin for adventure 2, because this is a freaking roller coaster of a plot. Because Billy Ray is weird, this part starts out with 2 kids as well. But this time they're siblings, not ex-couple. The siblings, Andy and Heather, are at a Billy Ray concert when Andy has the bright idea of leaving early to hide on Billy's tour bus to get his autograph. Well, sadly for these kids, the tour bus starts driving off and the kids become stowaways. At least from the first story, we know Billy is super responsible with kids. As the tour bus eventually stops to fill up on gas, the story takes a turn to Magicville. You see, this random gas station isn't some typical fill-up. Oh no, this shit is run by none other than the great wizard Merlin, who proves that he is magical by predicting that the bus needs exactly 37.6 gallons of gas. Ooh, magic. He also clues Billy in on the fact that 2 children stowed away on his bus because Billy's freaking flabbergasted and calls the kids' parents to reassure them he'll return their kids safely. And yeah, of course, the parents are like, oh, okay, cool, instead of being worried because this was the 90s and nothing bad ever happened to kids. Anyway, moving along, the gang packs into the bus and heads off toward their next gig in Nashville. But I shit you not, they are instead teleported to some castle in 1295 AD. So the bus didn't just time travel them? No. This bus also teleported them somewhere in Europe where they also speak modern day English. The entire bus is taken hostage, of course, because, well, it's 1295 AD and that's just kind of what they do. Luckily, the king doesn't just kill them all, he instead charges Billy with the task of slaying a dragon. Because tropes, I guess. Billy, being mildly logical, refuses to slay the dragon and is put in shackles, only to immediately be slapped in the face and challenged to a duel, which in turn has him removed from the shackles. As soon as his shackles are removed, Billy is thrown into a suit of armor and put on a horse in order to joust the knight who challenged him. Sadly, Billy wins by taking off all his armor, which is, well, stupid, but that shouldn't be a surprise at this point. By winning the joust, he cements himself as the Dragon Slayer. So let's just, skip ahead and see how Billy handles that whole mess. Maybe he, sings it to death, or maybe he does absolutely nothing because, spoilers, there is no dragon! It's actually just a hot spring making a bunch of steam in a cave. Which brings me to my final question. Why the hell did Merlin send all these people back in time to slay a non-existent dragon? Like, who gained anything meaningful out of this entire story? None of this mattered to any character. Nothing changed. Nobody learned a valuable life lesson. It's just some shit happening for no reason at all. And that's why it's probably the worst comic ever made. Fun fact! Billy Ray Cyrus sucks.
If you like this video, give a thumbs up and I will see you on my next reaction. This is the Montre Black. Peace.